So let's see. On Monday, we talked about like acute, right, obtuse, and straight angles. And acute are like the little small little angles, and right are the ones that look like the corner of your paper or the corner of your like room. Obtuse are like angles that are like wider, right? And then a straight angle is one that's like a straight line and it equals 180 degrees. It's a straight line, right? Yesterday, we learned about complementary angles, in which if it looks like the corner of your paper, these two angles will add up to 90 degrees, right? These two angles will add up to 90 degrees. We did, some easy ones, and then we went into like some harder problems, right? With multi-step equations. So today I can teach you something new, but it's very similar, very, very similar to what we did yesterday. All right. So today's date is 4/22/21, and we're going to do what are called supplementary angles. All right, so supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So it looks like a straight line. So it looks like a straight line. And these angles that look like a straight line are called supplementary. When you put these two angles together, they create a straight line. And when that happens, they're called supplementary angles, okay? So a straight line, a straight angle, looks like this, right? Straight angle. Now, if I were to somehow divide it into two angles, here is one angle, here's the other angle. Put together, they make a straight angle, supplementary angles. So this would be like angle A and angle B. If I were to add angle A plus angle B, it will equal 180 degrees. Yesterday, when I gave you this very similar example, it equals 90 degrees. Why? Because of what it looks like. So if it looks like the corner of your paper, it's going to equal 90 degrees. When it looks like the corner of your paper, 90 degrees. When it looks like a straight line, it's 180. Yes. Yes.
Are you talking? Because I can't hear anything.
I am talking. Ms. Rojas, can thumbs up? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. So it's you, not me. Testing. 1, 2. Testing.
Yeah, I can hear now.
Okay. Cool. All right. So supplementary are two angles that add up to 180. A plus B equals 180 degrees. All right. So like yesterday, the first ones are like super easy. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm still waiting for Denise to answer me. Is Denise out there? I sent her a message and she hasn't replied. Maybe she's not there. Maybe I'm imagining things. All right. Let's say this is 123 degrees and this one is X. Right? So you look at it and you're like, oh, look, it looks like a straight line. Cool. So if it looks like a straight line, that means I can add these two together and it will equal 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle is equal to 180. Very, 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 very simple math right now. So we're going to draw our bars. And it says here plus 123. So you're going to subtract 123, subtract 123. Now be very careful with the borrowing. I kind of mentioned it yesterday, and I saw some of you make some little tiny errors on your classwork, so make sure that you take your time and you borrow correctly. So 10 minus 3 is 7, right? We can't do 0 minus 3. It has to be a 10. Then it's 7 minus 2, which is 5, and then 1 minus 1 is 0, so we're done. So in this simple level 1 problem, we have x equals 57. All you had to do was take 180 and subtract 123. And that's it. do another one. Level 1, super easy. Copy this down. We have x and 82 degrees. So very simple, but we're still going to do an equation. X plus 82 is equal to 180 degrees. So we're going to draw our bar, right? It says here plus 82. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 82 from both sides. Right? It says plus 82, so we're going to do minus 82. Why? Because we want x. What happened? So we just have x by itself, and then here I'm going to...
Like in the equation, does the x always go first?
Oh, no. No.
Does it matter what way you put it in, or no?
No. Just as long as, like,
okay.
If it has a, like, subtraction somewhere, make sure you carry the subtraction with you. So if it said, like, 8 minus x, and then it was, like, 20, you can do 20 plus 8 minus x. So make sure, since it has a minus, that minus has to go with the number behind it. But you won't see this until next year. But yeah, no, you can do 82 plus x. That's fine. I like writing it this way because then the kids see the plus sign easily. 7, so that gives you 8. 7 minus 8 I can't do. This is where kids, they'll put the 17 there, but they'll forget to make this a 0, and then their answer is like 100 and something. It's like, eeks, no. Make sure you turn that into a 0 when needed. So our answer is x equals 98. All right, so that's like level 1, right? It's super, super easy, straightforward. The only way you can mess this up is if you don't borrow correctly. So borrow correctly. There, done. All right, let's do now level 2. Level 2. So let's say we have an angle here, 85 degrees and 5x. So what makes this a level 2? Well, this makes it a level 2 because you don't just have x, you have 5x, which requires us to do multi-step. You won't get your answer right away. So we have 5x plus 85 is equal to 180 degrees. Well, your goal is to get x by itself, right? So you're going to move the 5 and you're going to move the 85. And which number you move first does matter. You want to move the number that's furthest away from your x. Well, the 85 is just a little bit further. So I'm going to move the 85 first. It says plus, so I'm going to subtract 85 from both sides. So we're going to do 10, 7. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 8 I can't do, so this becomes a 0. That becomes a 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. Equals, now it doesn't equal just x, it equals 5x, right? Because this is like a level 2 problem, which involves 2 steps to solve it. This is my first step. Now I got to get rid of this 5. Well, it says 5x, which means 5 times x. So back in like October, we talked about this, that you have to divide by 5, divide by 5. In order to break this up, you have to divide it. Not add it, not subtract it, but divide it. Gee, I don't know what 95 divided by 5 is, so I'm going to go on the side and show my work to figure out what is 95 divided by 5. So x is equal to 19, because I went on the side and I divided it out. And that's all you have to do. So I guess it does look kind of complicated, but you learned how to do this with me in like November, I think, or even before that. You learned how to do this with me. The only difference is now we're starting off with an angle and realizing that this angle, all of this together equals 180. So you set up your equation to equal 180. When it looks like a straight line, you set it up equal to 180 degrees. All right, let's do another one like this. 2x and 150 degrees. So we're going to go with 2x plus 150 equals 180 degrees. Ask yourself, which number do I move first? Okay, move the 150 first. Minus 150 minus 150 to both sides. So we have, on this side left is 2x, and on this side it's 30. We're not done. We got to get rid of that 2, right? If it says 2x, you're going to divide by 2. You're going to divide by 2. So x is equal to 30 divided by 2 is 15. Are we okay with level 2? So this is level 2. I think also kind of straightforward, pretty easy. Now, level 3. Level 3 is where I saw most of the mistakes yesterday on the classwork. Remember, if you don't get 10 out of 10 on the classwork, that probably means you did something wrong. And there's usually a comment. I don't give you a lower grade without a comment. So make sure you understand that and make sure you know how to find the comments in your grades. Because that's where I tell you, like, hey, I took off points because X, Y, Z. So look for those comments.
Can we do a couple more?
Yes. Like I said, we're going to do level 3 because this is where most of you messed up yesterday. Just said that. This is where I saw most of the mistakes. Whenever you had a subtraction in the problem, it went crazy. You guys went all over the place. So when you set up your problem, x minus 1 plus 121 equals 180, right? Yesterday you set it up equal to 90 because it was complementary. Today it's supplementary. Now, it was crazy what I was seeing. This is a minus 1. Like it's a x minus 1. But what you guys were doing, and I'll write the mistake on my little post-it. What you guys were doing is you guys were taking these two and saying, oh, Miss Amelia, it's 122 plus x. I'm like, how'd you get 122? I'm like, well, look, I put these two together. I put the 1 and the 121. And 1 and 121 is 122, isn't it? And I'm like, no. Well, why not? I said, no. Because this is a minus 1. You're not adding 1, you're minusing. So we can't just go make this a 122. No, don't do that. Don't do that. My goodness, don't do that. When I put these two together, because this is a minus 1, I don't know, I'm gonna like star it so you figure, so you see it. Because this is a minus 1, this is really equal to 120 because it's a minus 1. Then we're gonna add x, okay? But some of you on your classwork yesterday, when you had subtraction, it was like a minus 20. You didn't minus 20. When you combined it, you ignored that minus. And it's like, no, do not ignore the minus. Just like here, I didn't ignore the minus. Pay attention. Look, I didn't get 122. I got 120. Why? Because it says minus 1. So check. Check. Then we're going to subtract 120, subtract 120. So we have x is equal to 60 degrees right here. Be very, very careful with these types of problems. Whenever you see that subtraction sign, just go slower. Just go slower and realize, like, okay, it's not just combining everything. Let's do another one. I'm going to sneak it in right here. Very similar to this one. X minus 8 and 33. So we have x minus 8 plus 33 equals 180 degrees. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this whole like minusing thing, you're just like, I don't understand this part, Miss Mother. How'd you get 120? Like, I don't get it. Why? And yesterday I made the mistake with the minus 10, or it was a minus 20, and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way, and I remember showing you this yesterday, take one number at a time. I'm going to take the 33 and move it to this side. So right here it says plus 33, so I'm going to do a minus 33. Okay? I'm just going to take like one number at a time. I'm not going to combine anything on one side. I'm just going to move them all over, one at a time. So 10, 7. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. Bring down the 1. Equals. Now I just moved this part, so I still have x minus 8. I didn't combine them. I'm doing one step at a time. For those of you who don't feel comfortable about putting them together, then just move them one at a time. Now this one, because it says minus 8, you have to do plus 8. Because you have to do the opposite. You have to do the opposite. You don't always subtract. Sometimes you get to add because of whatever that operation is. So we have x is equal to 147 plus 8 is 155. So x is equal to 155. So there's two ways to handle these like level 3 problems. You can either really do combine them on one side, just get one single number, or if you're just like, I don't like that, I don't know that subtraction sign, Miss Amelia, you know, cool, just move them one at a time then. It's a little bit more work, but at least you feel more comfortable doing it, hopefully this way. It's up to you. As long as your work is correct and your answers are correct, I'm okay with it. All right. Level 2.5, so we're going one back. I just showed you level 3. We're going to go half a step back. Level 2.5. What if it's 57 and x plus 23? So here it's supplementary because it's a straight line. So it'd be 57 plus x plus 23 equals 180 degrees. Now here's an example where I don't put the x in the front. I kind of put the 57 in the front. Does it matter? No, it does not. Here it's level 2.5. Right? Why do I say that? Because there's no subtraction signs here. There's no subtraction sign. So you can freely add 57 plus 23 together. Because there's no subtraction signs, we're good. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with that, then just move the 23, then move the 57, and you're done. You can do that. Or you can combine them on the side. Let's see, 57 plus 23, 10, carry the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80. Okay, so it would be 80 plus x equals 180. How did I get 80? I added these two together. But Miss Lamel, you just said I can't. Only if there's a subtraction sign. If you check your problem and there's no subtraction signs, then you feel free to combine them. Some of you yesterday, you combined them beautifully, but you ignore that minus sign, which is not okay. So we're going to do minus 80, minus 80. So x is equal to 100, right? If you were to do minus 23, minus 57, one at a time, you still end up with 100. Like that doesn't change. So it's just a longer problem, but you still get the same answer.
Miss Lloyd, do we have to do it this way, or can we do it that other way we did before?
So you can do it this way, where you combine them, or you can do it the longer way. If you feel more comfortable taking one number at a time, you can. Like for this one, you don't have to write this down. You could have done minus 23, 57 plus x equals 157, and then minus 57, x equals 100. So here on my post-it, I took each number at a time. Minus 23, then I have left over 57 plus x, so minus 57, I still get 100 for my answer. So it just depends on, I guess, how your eyes look at it and be like, yeah, Miss Lamelli, I understand I can put these two together, get 80, then subtract it. Or, yeah, no, gonna move one at a time. Move one at a time. Doesn't matter. It's fine. You will get the same answer as long as you subtract or add correctly.